What's good everyone? Welcome back to another video. In this video, I'll be going through a more in-depth Bitcoin analysis since we are in a new month, in the month of February, and I'll share with you guys where I think Bitcoin will be going and some trade ideas as well moving forward. And I hope that some of you guys have seen my shorts that I just posted back on Saturday. I talked about the daily chart and the local resistance we are in right now, and we are more highly likely to have a pullback at least down to the 22,400 regions. And right now, as you can see in the graph, we are currently having a small pullback almost to the 22,600 levels, very close to the level that I talked about, 22,400. So hope you guys have taken some profits over here. You know, pullbacks are very common and you should take profits as much as you can. So let's get on with the video. Okay, so this is the start of a new month, and as always, I'll be going through the monthly chart first. And so let's hide all these drawings. Okay, as you can see, the month of January was super bullish. We ended up with a very bullish monthly candle engulfing 1, 2, 3, 4, almost 4 months of price action over here. This shows that there's a lot of strength with the bulls right now, and we're most probably going to continue this momentum and pushing up higher above 25k. But don't get ahead of yourself. Price do not just go in one direction. Most probably there'll be accumulation zones or pullbacks, etc. So do not FOMO in and buy at the highs because that is not worth it. You do not want to suffer drawdowns of 20 to 30% during the pullback, and then you might want to sell at the pullback, and then it starts to pump back up, and then you regret, and then you FOMO in at the highs again. Many kinds of scenarios, and you want to manage your risk as much as possible and buy at the best prices. Okay, so this is just the monthly chart. We are still currently below the 21 and 34 EMAs, so there's still no signs of a new bull market, and so this would definitely be counted as a bear market rally to me still, not the start of a new bull market. So just be careful, we are still in a bearish trend overall, so just take note of that. And we are most probably going to at least retest these EMAs before coming back down to lower levels. So in this case, the EMAs right now is around 26 to 27k. So watch these levels because it will be very important. Moving down to the weekly. Okay, something very interesting has happened. Alright, with all this bullish momentum for Bitcoin, we have now reclaimed the 21 and 34 EMAs. What does this mean? This means that, you know, if you haven't watched one of my early videos last year, I said that if price manages to break and hold above the 21 and 34 EMAs for Bitcoin on the weekly chart, this means that we are currently in either a bear market rally or a start of a bull run. But as I said earlier, we still do not have confirmation that it's a bull market unless we climb back above and hold this 21 and 34 EMAs. Currently, we are still holding it, but there's not enough data with just one candle or two candles resting above it. So we need to wait for more information before we determine if this is a bull market or whatsoever. But for now, still bearish overall. It hasn't broken the trend, and unless it reclaims this level around 30k, it is still in a bearish trend. Alright, because this was previous strong support and it broke down and he has not reclaimed ever since. So to say that it's a brand new bull market, we have to reclaim the 30k levels before we can say anything else. But other than this is still a bullish sign overall. So we'll see what happens over here. Moving down to the daily, price is coming into huge resistance over here. You can see there are 3 taps around here at this level, around the 23.5k to the 25k levels. We have come to huge resistance and we are currently just consolidating. This price action is about 2 weeks worth. We're just ranging and ranging. Nothing much going for Bitcoin, but you can see when Bitcoin was ranging, alts were going crazy, man. Going up 100%, 50%, 200%. So what next, right? So as I mentioned in my shorts, I'm expecting a pullback right now because we couldn't close above 24k levels. We are just consolidating over here, and therefore, to me, I think that we are either going to accumulate longer before a huge push up soon, or if we break below this 22,400 cleanly, I expect prices to retrace down to at least the 21.4k levels, and second target will be around the 20,400 to take out all these stops over here that long here. Once they take back these stops, then we start heading back up again, then collect more buy orders over here, then we slowly push up to the 25k levels. Okay, so that's what I see. Let's get back all my drawings. I have not removed any drawings from this chart itself for the past 3-4 weeks, I think. Okay, as I mentioned, I think that we are still in the pullback stage ever since we hit these lows back in November, and in December I became bullish and I said that we are most probably going to revisit this 21k level, and we finally did. And so on the monthly chart, you can see over here we are in a 5-wave formation, 1, 2, 3, and I think we are currently in this wave 4 pullback. Alright, so I have already achieved my main targets of 21k, and so I'll be cautious at this point. I do not want to take any huge positions to the long side because I've already made my plans and my longs targets have already been fulfilled. Alright, so if anything, if I want to long, I will take a very small position because right now we are in the wave 4 pullback, and anytime we can start the new wave 5 to the downside. Anyway, zooming in, since we are pulling back, we probably will be forming a small wave pattern as well. So right now you can see I've marked out over here. We have this wave 1, wave 2, wave 3. I'll then wait for this wave 4 pullback, and then I'll load up on spot positions, and I'm predicting price for Bitcoin to at least tap this 25.2k levels again, consolidate somehow, and then we might have a deviation, and then we start pulling back, and that's where I'll exit my positions at around 25k. Okay, so as planned, these 3 are the key levels around here. Firstly, I talked about 70,500. We passed that, we break through, and then we push up severely. I thought we were going to get a pullback over here at 21k, but bullish momentum was so strong that we continue pushing up to this key resistance area over here, this supply zone, and I'm expecting at least a pullback if we manage to break 22,400. Remember, 22,400 is a very strong level for support right now. If we don't manage to break, then I'll find this as an accumulation zone, and then we'll start pushing up from here. But I'm just hoping for this dip because this dip will cause many alts to drop by at least 10 to 20%. Then I'll load up on there, and then we'll most probably get 50% gains for alts if price of Bitcoin manages to break above 25k, etc. So right now, my plans are as such. I'm already taken a ETH short position based on Bitcoin's price analysis. I've taken a short for ETH at about, let me just go to the ETH chart. I won't talk much about ETH because this is mainly a Bitcoin video, but in any case for ETH, similar price action, we are at a huge key resistance area. We managed to break the previous local high, but we are again at a very strong supply zone. Price did not manage to hold above the 16,077 levels, which was the previous local high. Closed below for the daily candles. Even tried to go above 1700 but failed. Comes back down. We closed below this range level at 1666. Okay, right now we are just hovering down, and as you can see, we are now holding below 1632 levels. And why is this a key level to me? Is because moving into the 4-hour, going back to the left chart, this 1632 level, I marked it as a very important level because price fails to break above when it comes back down, it has a meltdown, comes back up again, it passes back up again, but after maybe 1 day or so, fails to hold above again, comes back down, and then we break down from here again. So I think to me 1632 level is a key level to me. And zooming in to the 4-hour chart, price has a strong bearish candle, the previous 4-hour candle, and is now below 1632. So if you can hold below 1632 for a period of time, we're most likely going to revisit the lows over here, 1550 at least, and then we'll see from there, similar to Bitcoin. Okay, so let me just go back to Bitcoin, show you my trade ideas. Okay, so zooming into the 4-hour chart already, you can see this key level I've drawn here. Similar to ETH, I drew this as a key level because price, when it goes above and deviates below, it had a huge meltdown. Similar over here, price fails to hold above, huge meltdown, price comes back up, comes back down, boom, we get a huge drop. So similarly, over here, price failed to make a high and hold above. Sorry, price made a high but failed to hold above, comes back down, we had a huge meltdown. Now, I've drawn this level, it was the previous local high. If Bitcoin holds below 22,800, to me that's a sign of weakness. And again, I mentioned a lot of times, we most probably touch the 22,400 levels, and we'll see from there. So for, let's say you want to long this, I would want to see price at least breaks below all this, take out all these stops over here, deviates, comes back above, that is your long trigger, then we should be pushing up to at least 25Ks. But if this doesn't happen, let's backtrace all that. Okay, if price just comes back down but does not reclaim, just small retracement, we should have a huge push down back to at least 21.4Ks. And that area again is the July mid-range, which is a strong support right now because we have broken it. If we want to take longs again, we want to see it accumulate a little bit, comes back, holds above 21.4K, then we should be heading up to 25Ks. But if it still holds below, alright, we test underside, then we start to push down even more. Now this is the region I want to see take out the stops, at least at around 20,400. Once it takes out the stops, we want to see a reclaim back above this level over here. Reclaim, this will be your long. If it does not reclaim again, then things are going to get very bad, because most probably if price breaks below 20,400 and holds below, then we're going to touch back to the 19,500 levels, which is the September mid-range. And I think price pulling back to this area is pretty concerning, because we are going to start to enter previous ranges down below, and that's not too good, but we'll see from there. Either way, I still think the main targets for if Bitcoin wants to do a deeper pullback will be at least 21.4K and then the 20,400. So that's my trade ideas. For shorting wise, I wouldn't short anything right now unless you have shorted over here, which is the highs. So if you have shorted over here, good for you. The deviation was the short trigger. Alright, now your stop should be at break even or so. So if in any case, if price pumps back up, you'll just be taken out break even. Similar to my ETH position, sorry, I've taken a short because of this swing fail, okay, above the highs. I took an entry about 1680 because I think that, you know, it failed to break the highs and failed to hold above 1677, so I shorted. My stops are at break even right now, similar to Bitcoin. So yeah, that's about it for Bitcoin. This is my trade ideas for you guys. And let's say we get a deeper pullback to at least 21.4 or 20,400. My plan is to load up on spot. Okay, I'm going to buy the alts that I mentioned in my previous video. So if you haven't watched it, please do, to know what are my picks for this next run. So if the price of Bitcoin manages to pull back to at least 21.4k to 20,400, the odds that I wanted to buy at would be down at least 20% or so. And that's where I want to buy in, because if price manages to reclaim these important levels and Bitcoin pushes up to 25k, the odds that I mentioned should at least gain 30 to 50%, and best case scenario 100% gain. So that's my plan for now. Hope this video helps you well, and I'll try to post some shorts within the week as well, so you do not just have to wait for my weekly videos. I'll update the charts as it goes. I'll post the shorts after. Alright, so take care. Remember, the markets are always here, but your capital may not. Peace.